It was once the kind of celebrity friendship Britain adored. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, side by side with David and Victoria Beckham. Two power couples, two global brands, royals and football royalty mingling as equals. But behind the smiles, something darker was brewing. And today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about the secret feud that tore them apart. Before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe right now, because in part 2, we're going even deeper. We'll reveal Meghan's personal feud with Victoria Beckham, and why the Beckhams have now chosen William and Kate over Harry and Meghan. You do not want to miss that. Subscribe now so you're ready when it drops. So, where did it all go wrong? Let's rewind. At first, the friendship was golden. David Beckham had long been close to the royals, a familiar face at charity events, football matches, and even Buckingham Palace receptions. When Meghan Markle arrived in London, fresh from her acting career in America, the Beckhams welcomed her. Victoria even lent Meghan her famous little black book of London stylists and hairdressers, a generous gesture that helped Meghan fit into her new royal life. On the surface, everything looked perfect, but in reality, this was the beginning of the end. Not long after Meghan settled into the UK, glowing stories about her friendship with Victoria started appearing in the press. And that's when Meghan's suspicions ignited. According to reports, Meghan became convinced that Victoria herself was leaking stories to journalists. The idea seemed absurd. Victoria Beckham, a global fashion mogul, personally ringing up reporters for gossip? Yet Meghan believed it. And she went straight to Harry. Protective as ever, Harry took matters into his own hands. He picked up the phone and called his good friend David Beckham. Sources say the conversation was mortifying. Harry politely confronted David, essentially asking, "Is Victoria leaking stories about Meghan?" David was stunned. He denied it flat out, assuring Harry it wasn't true. And while the two men agreed to move on, the damage had been done. May 2018, the Beckhams are invited to Harry and Meghan's wedding at St. George's Chapel, Windsor. The cameras caught their glamorous arrival. Victoria in one of her signature designs, David looking as suave as ever. But there was a sting in the tail. The Beckhams were invited to the ceremony, but not the reception. For a couple used to A-list treatment, this was a snub they didn't forget. Whispers spread that David and Victoria felt insulted, sidelined. And slowly, the glittering friendship began to fade. But if you think that was awkward, wait until you hear what happened at the Invictus Games. Later that year, Harry and Meghan traveled to Australia for a major royal tour. It coincided with Harry's beloved Invictus Games in Sydney. Harry had personally invited David Beckham to serve as an ambassador for the Games. Beckham accepted, flying all the way to Australia to show support. But when he got there, Harry refused to see him. The reason? Meghan still feared that Victoria was leaking stories. David Beckham, one of the world's biggest football icons, had traveled across the globe for Harry's event, only to be kept at arm's length. Behind closed doors, insiders say David was hurt and bewildered. Publicly, he remained supportive. Privately, he began to question the friendship. And this was the turning point. In 2020, when Harry and Meghan announced they were stepping back from royal life, David spoke warmly. He called Harry an amazing person, saying he was proud of him. On the surface, the friendship still looked intact, but look closer and the cracks were clear. After Meg's sit, Harry and Meghan launched a wave of criticism at the royal family. For David Beckham, a proud royalist who even queued for 12 hours to pay respects to the Queen, this was hard to stomach. Slowly, the Beckhams drifted back into the orbit of William and Kate. And Harry and Meghan? They were out in the cold. But the final blow was still to come. In 2022, Brooklyn Beckham married Nicola Peltz in a lavish Florida ceremony. The guest list was packed with celebrities, but Harry and Meghan were nowhere to be seen. By this point, the two couples were barely speaking. The old friendship was dead. And when David launched Inter Miami and signed Lionel Messi in 2023, The stadium was packed with stars. Again, Harry and Meghan didn't show. The Beckhams were moving closer to the royals. The Sussexes were moving further away. And the split was now undeniable. But here's the twist. This year, Harry and Meghan reportedly hosted Brooklyn and Nicola at their Montecito home. The Sussexes and the newlyweds apparently found a lot of common ground. Think about that. Harry and Meghan aligning themselves with Brooklyn, the son who skipped his dad's 50th birthday celebrations. Some see it as coincidence, others as a strategic move. One thing's for sure, it's deepened the divide with David and Victoria. So let's pull back. This wasn't just about a leaked story. It wasn't just about a wedding invite or a snub in Sydney. This was about loyalty. The Beckhams have chosen the royals, William, Kate, and Charles. Harry and Meghan have chosen independence. And in between, a once glittering friendship has crumbled. But the most dramatic chapter? That's still to come. Because part 2 will expose Meghan's personal feud with Victoria Beckham, how her suspicions poisoned everything, and why today, the Beckhams stand firmly in William and Kate's camp. If you thought part 1 was explosive, wait until you hear what comes next. So make sure you hit subscribe right now. Part 2 is coming, and it's going to reveal the truth Meghan and Victoria never wanted you to know.